welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're stepping into a world where legends aren't just human. We're talking about animals, specifically one incredible dog.
That's right. We're looking at the saga of Champion Rawhide.
An American Pit Bull Terrier, whose life story really became, well, emblematic of the breed's history, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. His story is a deep look into that specific time and place.
So we've gathered some really fascinating personal accounts. These come from two key people in his life, Faul and Mike Lloyd.
Yeah, the guys who knew him best.
And our mission for you today is to really unpack these stories, pull out the key insights, the real nuggets of knowledge from their experiences with Rawhide.
It's going to give you a unique perspective on the breed's past, the challenges these dogs face, their resilience.
Definitely. Get ready for a compelling, sometimes pretty intense look at a true legend. There's some surprising details in here.
It's a direct window, really, into the dedication, the strategic thinking, and just the sheer grit that was so valued back then.
These aren't just stories, right? They're like personal chronicles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They offer an understanding you just don't get anywhere else. You see how traits like gameness, intelligence, resilience, they weren't just admired.
No, they were tested rigorously.
Rigorously tested, yeah, and woven right into the breed's lineage. It's all about how these qualities were developed.
That's it. These narratives really help us understand the historical tapestry of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So, okay, let's start at the beginning, the foundations.
Where it all began for Rawhide.
Our sources introduce him as a red male, 35 pounds, pretty standard size. But his lineage is noted right away off of Mean Gene and CH Gator son.
And for anyone who knows APBT history, that's significant. That's not just a name drop.
Explain that a bit. What does that lineage tell us?
Well, it immediately points to a very deliberate breeding philosophy. Mean Gene, CH Gator son. These are known lines.
Known for producing certain traits.
Exactly. Traits like gameness, strength, that fighting intelligence. It suggests there was already an expectation for Rawhide based purely on his parents. It's like they were using proven genetic blueprints.
A kind of a informal genetic science almost.
You could say that. They were looking for performance, predictability, generations of careful, focused selection, aiming for these specific outcomes.
Okay, so R.A. Faul gets Rawhide at about 12 months old. But it wasn't just Rawhide, was it?
No, and this is really interesting. He bought Rawhide along with his brother, Woodenhead, and his sister, who later became Champion Peanut.
All from Ronnie Duhan. So he got a big chunk of the litter.
Right. Not just picking the one standout pup.
What does that tell you about Faul's approach?
It suggests a very strategic mind. Getting multiple siblings lets you see how those desired traits, from Mean Gene and Gatorson actually manifest.
It's like a comparison study.
Pretty much. A living laboratory. You watch them develop, react to training, see their innate temperaments. It gives you so much more data.
So you can figure out which traits are consistent, maybe spot variations.
Exactly. And make better choices about who to focus on for competition or even breeding down the line. It's about maximizing your chances of finding a real gem.
Like Rawhide turned out to be.
Precisely. It minimizes risk when you're looking for something specific in that gene pool.
Okay, so this wasn't a casual pet purchase. This was serious from the start. And Rawhide's early development, his schooling, it sounds intense.
It was. And the story of his brother, Woodenhead, really drives that home. It sets a stark tone.
How so? What happened?
The sources describe Woodenhead as a dead game dog, which, in that world, is the highest praise, unyielding tenacity. But tragically, he was put to sleep because he didn't have any teeth left at just 18 months old.
18 months, that's incredibly young.
It is, and it's shocking. It just lays bare the brutal realities, the demands of the environment these dogs are being prepared for.
Dead game meant everything, but it came at a huge cost.
An immense physical toll, and it highlights the sometimes very pragmatic, difficult decisions these owners faced. It really paints a picture of the world Rawhide was stepping into.
Wow. And after that tragedy, Rawhide and his sister Peanut just continued their schooling.
Yeah, the training didn't stop. You can imagine the intensity knowing what happened to Woodenhead.
So let's talk about Rawhide's own early tests, these informal roles. The first one's early, right? 13 months.
About that, yeah. Rolled with his brother, Woodenhead, actually, before Woodenhead's issues became critical.
How did Rawhide do?
The account just says for about 10 minutes, and Rawhide showed real good.
Okay, showed real good. What does that really mean in this context? It sounds kind of vague.
It sounds vague, but it carries a lot of weight. For a pup that young, it's not about winning. It's about seeing those foundational traits.
Like what? Drive, willingness.
Exactly. Drive, intensity, a good grip, maybe a hint of that determination, that gameness. It's an early positive sign, confirmation that the breeding, the selection, was working out with him.
A hint of the champion to come.
Maybe. It's the start. These early rolls were where they spotted and started honing that potential.
Then came the second test, at 15 months.
Right. Rolled with a friend's dog this time. And the account gets more specific. It says Rawhide was in control of the roll all the way.
Okay, in control. That definitely sounds like a step up from just showing good.
It is. It implies dominance, effective technique. He wasn't just participating, he was dictating the terms.
Establishing better grips, maybe? Positioning?
Likely all of that, maybe even a psychological edge. These weren't just physical tests, they were refining his instincts, building confidence. His handlers are learning about his specific strengths.
But the challenges kept getting harder, didn't they?
Always. At 18 months, the sources say friends came over with a bigger dog, a 40-pounder.
And they were explicit about it.
Yeah, they flat out said they had a dog to stop Rawhide. It sounds like a direct challenge. A real test against a dog perceived as a potential stopper.
How did that go?
Initially, the other dog actually controlled things for about 10 minutes, caught Rawhide on the ear.
An ear hold can be pretty controlling, right? Disorienting.
Very effective, yeah. Controls the head, causes discomfort. The fact Rawhide endured that for 10 minutes without, folding, that says a lot.
Shows that grit early on, pain tolerance.
Absolutely. It showed he wouldn't be easily put off, even when at a disadvantage. It was a psychological test as much as a physical one. Did he have the heart?
And clearly he did,
Hmm.
because he didn't just endure.
No, he adapted. The account says once Rawhide managed to get into the shoulder.
Which is a key strategic move.
Definitely. It can neutralize that ear hold, let him get a more dominant grip, requires strength and tactical sense.
And once he got to the shoulder.
It took about 8 minutes more, and the other dog was picked up, stopped.
Wow. So he completely turned it around from being controlled to dominating.
Exactly. Switching from defense to offense, stopping a dog brought specifically to stop him, that showed real strategic depth. Even young, he could think, react, capitalize, turn the tables.
It's incredible resilience. Okay, so the proving grounds continue. He's 2 years old, 24 months, another roll.
Yep, and another escalation. This time, people came with what they called a shoulder dog.
A specialist.
Yeah, a dog known for targeting the shoulder, which can be really damaging, affect mobility. Again, the talk was aggressive. They claimed this dog would kill Rawhide.
Another direct, serious challenge.
Very serious. And the account says it was a good battle for about 15 minutes.
So it wasn't easy. He was up against a real threat.
For sure. A dog with a defined, effective strategy. It wasn't a quick win, which just makes Rawhide's performance even more impressive.
Well, yeah.
These roles, you see, they were really testing everything. Character, endurance, fighting IQ.
And again, Rawhide prevailed.
He did. After that initial 15-minute battle, Rawhide then stopped the shoulder dog in about 25 minutes total.
Another significant win.
Huge. And this seems to be the turning point in perception. People realize, okay, this dog isn't just promising, he's good.
And that's when R.A. Faul decided.
It was time to match Rawhide. Time for formal competition.
It makes sense. He'd proven himself against escalating specific challenges in these informal settings. Yeah. He'd built a reputation.
Exactly. He showed power, gameness, tactical skill against different styles. He'd basically graduated from schooling. He was ready for the real deal, the sanctioned matches.
The foundation was laid. He was ready to step into the pit.
Ready for the next level, where the stakes get much, much higher.
Right. So Rawhide's proven himself in those tough roles. He's ready for formal competition. What does that transition actually look like?
Well, it means moving into scheduled, sanctioned matches, often with money changing hands, referees, strict rules. It's the shift from, let's say, sparring to a championship bout.
And his first official match, he was about 28 months old.
Just over 2 years old, yeah. And his opponent was a brindle dog described as a chess dog.
A chess dog. So it's the shoulder dog, a specialist.
Exactly. Specializes in getting a grip on the chest, which is exhausting for the opponent, causes damage, drains stamina, a really tough style to deal with.
This dog was off of Hoodoo, owned by a J. Carroll. And the account says, all odds were against Rawhide. Why? Was this dog famous?
It suggests the opponent was highly regarded, yeah. Maybe undefeated, maybe just known for being particularly formidable. Or perhaps Rawhide, despite his roll record, was still seen as the underdog stepping into this formal arena. We don't know the exact reason for this odds, but it adds to the drama.
And it mentions both dogs were on weight and washed. What's the significance there?
That's standard protocol for formal matches. On weight means they met the agreed-upon weight class, ensuring a fair physical matchup. Washed means they were literally washed before the fight to remove any substances that could numb, irritate, or give an unfair advantage.
So a level playing field. Pure test of the dogs.
That's the idea. Skill, conditioning, gameness.
Okay, so the fight starts. How did it play out initially?
The brindle dog executed its strategy perfectly, got right into Rawhide's chest, and stayed there for about 17 minutes.
17 minutes? That's a long time to endure that kind of pressure.
Relentless pressure. But Rawhide showed his resilience again. He'd managed to get the brindle dog off him by targeting the nose.
The defensive move. To break the hold.
Yeah, create some space, disrupt the grip. But the brindle dog was persistent. It would shake Rawhide loose and go right back to the chest. A real back and forth, with the brindle dog dictating the main pattern.
So Rawhide's on the defensive, trying to weather the storm.
Exactly. And showing that strategic patience we talked about.
Yeah.
Enduring the assault, waiting, conserving energy, perhaps. It tested his endurance and his mental toughness.
Did the brindle dog start to tire?
That's what the account suggests. When the brindle dog showed a little fatigue, Rawhide saw his chance.
And he took it. How?
He shifted tactics, started targeting the shoulder and the stifle.
The stifle, that's the hind leg joint, right? Affects mobility.
Critically. Targeting shoulder and stifle is about impairing the opponent's movement and overall fighting ability. It's a smart, calculated counterattack.
So he recognized the weakness, the fatigue, and went for vulnerable points.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
High-level tactical awareness, knowing when to absorb pressure and when to strike back effectively. It wasn't just about toughness, it was strategy.
In the outcome.
The fight lasted 35 minutes in total, and the brindle dog was picked up. Couldn't continue.
Wow. First formal match against the odds, against a specialist, and he wins through strategy and endurance.
A major victory. Really announced his arrival on the formal scene.
Okay, 6 months pass, match number 2, and this one sounds even bigger.
Yeah, the stakes definitely went up. He faced a red dog owned by Hernandez and Smith.
And this dog wasn't cheap.
No, they'd apparently paid $1,000 for him, which was serious money back then for a dog.
And he came with a nasty reputation.
Very nasty. Rumored to have stopped a champion in 20 minutes.
20 minutes? That's incredibly fast against a champion. Indicates serious power.
Exceptional power and efficiency, yeah. So this wasn't just another fight. This was a major challenge to Rawhide's rising status. Could he handle this level of proven elite competitor?
And the tension wasn't just in the pit potential. There was pre-fight drama.
Oh, yeah. Real psychological warfare. 3 days before the match, R.A. Faul gets a phone call.
What did they say?
A direct threat that he would find Rawhide's guts all over the pit. Chillin' stuff.
Just trying to intimidate them, rattle them.
Undoubtedly. Trying to get in their heads, maybe make them second guess even showing up. It shows the passion, the intensity, sometimes the darker side surrounding these high-stakes matches.
How did R.A. respond?
Apparently, completely unfazed, told them they had to get to Rawhide's guts and that I didn't think they could get there.
Total defiance. Complete faith in his dog.
Shows his own steeliness, right? Refused to be intimidated. It highlights that human element of belief and resilience alongside the dog's.
So fight night arrives. Dog's on weight. Washed again. Rawhide's reportedly feeling really good. How did this one start?
Intensely. Right away, the red dog got on Rawhide's shoulder. Rawhide countered, got on the red dog's nose.
Immediate clash.
Immediate and fierce. The account says blood was running all over. Just paints a picture of the power unleashed from the start.
And it didn't let up.
No. It went shoulder to shoulder, stifle to stifle, and mouth to mouth for about 35 minutes.
Just a relentless grinding battle. Both dogs going at it.
Total engagement, sustained pressure, counter pressure, testing every bit of their physical and mental strength. Just brutal intensity from both sides.
How did it finally break? What was the turning point?
There was an out-of-hold count, meaning the dog separated, disengaged momentarily.
And the rules kick in then, about restarting.
Exactly. The referee starts a count. Each dog has to scratch across the center line towards the opponent to show willingness to continue.
So who was due to scratch?
The red dog was due, but the account says he was unable to do so.
Meaning he couldn't or wouldn't continue?
Right. effectively conceding. Then Rawhide had to make his scratch.
Did he hesitate?
Not according to the account. It says Rawhide made a hard scratch, meaning he went immediately, decisively, sealed the victory.
And how long did this brutal fight last in total?
58 minutes. Right. Almost a full hour of that relentless intensity.
Incredible. What does that say about Rawhide? Beyond just winning.
It screams gameness, that unwavering determination, fighting through pain, exhaustion. To outlast a dog like that, rumored to stop champions quickly in a nearly hour-long war, it cemented his reputation. He wasn't just good, he was incredibly game, a truly formidable force.
But winning like that, gaining that reputation, it brought new problems, didn't it?
It absolutely did. Success in that world often came with significant dangers.
Like what? After this huge win against the Red Dog.
R.A. Faul got warned someone was planning to steal Rawhide.
Steal him?
Seriously.
Yeah. When a dog got that famous, that proven, he became an incredibly valuable commodity. Theft was a real, constant threat. People would go to great lengths.
So his value made him a target.
A huge target. Owners had to be incredibly careful. They'd use trusted friends, remote locations, tight security. It was a serious business protecting a dog like that.
And R.A. had to do that. He did. Rawhide was sent away to a friend's place for safekeeping for several months until things cooled down.
Wow. Hiding a champion because he's too famous.
It's the paradox, right? Success brings admiration, but also danger. And this period, even while hidden, Rawhide's fame just exploded.
How so?
Word spread across the country. Everyone heard about the Red Dog fight, and the result was he became hard to match.
Meaning?
Meaning finding opponents got really difficult. His reputation was so formidable, people were reluctant to put their own dogs against him.
They knew the likely outcome.
Pretty much, or the risk was just too high. He'd reached that peak where his dominance actually limited his opportunities to compete. The pool of willing challengers just dried up.
So he's basically too good for his own good, competitively speaking.
In a way, yes. It happens with dominant champions. It speaks volumes about the respect or maybe fear he commanded. But it also meant his fighting career might be nearing its end, practically speaking.
Did anyone even try to challenge him during this time?
There was one instance mentioned. A guy from California called R.A. Faul.
Offering a match.
A huge one. Wanted to match Rawhide for $20,000.
$20,000? That's astronomical money for that time.
Massive stakes. And he asked for a $5,000 forfeit.
Okay, what's the forfeit for?
It's like a deposit, a guarantee of seriousness. You put up the forfeit money beforehand, and if you back out, you lose it. It stops people from making challenges they don't intend to follow through on, protects the owner from wasting time and prep.
So did R.A. agree to this $20,000 match?
He did. He accepted the challenge.
Did the California guys send the $5,000 forfeit?
Nope. Never sent the money, never called back.
Just vanished.
Yeah. It really underscores how daunting facing Rawhide had become. Even someone talking that kind of money ultimately wouldn't commit. His reputation alone was a powerful deterrent.
So Rawhide is famous, feared, basically unmatchable. What happens next for him?
Well, R.A. Faul kept him for a few more months, but with no real prospect of finding another match, he made a big decision. He sold Rawhide to Mike and Bonnie Lloyd.
Selling the champion? Why? Just because he couldn't find fights?
That seems to be the main driver. When a dog reaches that status and competition dries up, sometimes the best path forward for the dog's legacy is a new owner who might focus on breeding or maybe has different connections.
So it's about ensuring his line continues, maybe?
Very likely. Selling him to another respected dogman like Mike Lloyd meant Rawhide's value, especially his genetic value, would be recognized and utilized. It's a pragmatic decision in managing such a high-profile animal. A new chapter begins.
Okay, so Rawhide, now a champion, moves to Mike Lloyd's ownership. And despite being hard to match, Lloyd decides to match him again.
He does, one more time. Which, you're right, is a bold move. You've got this legendary undefeated dog. Why risk it?
Exactly. What does that tell you about Mike Lloyd's thinking?
I think it shows immense confidence, both in Rawhide and maybe in his own ability to condition and handle him. Perhaps a desire to cement the legacy under his name, too. To show Rawhide's greatness wasn't tied to just one owner.
Reaffirming his status.
Yeah, proving he could still beat the best, regardless of age or past glory.
And who was the opponent for this final match? Was it a serious contender?
Oh, absolutely. A dog named Wedge, described as a 4-time winner.
4 wins is significant. That's a proven competitor.
Definitely. And not just any winner. Wedge was from a Barney bloodline.
Is that lineage important? Like Mean Gene and Gator Son?
Yeah. For those in the know, the Barney line was respected, known for producing powerful, tenacious dogs. And Wedge had a specific, dangerous style.
Out style.
He was called a hell of a head dog.
Meaning you focused on the head and face.
Primarily, yeah. A very aggressive, often damaging strategy. So this wasn't some easy farewell fight for Rawhide. It was a legitimate high-level challenge against another top dog with a tough style.
So how did this final battle unfold? Was it another quick dominance for Rawhide?
Not at all. It sounds like Wedge gave him a real run for his money, especially early on.
How so?
Mike Lloyd writes that Rawhide couldn't get to Wedge for about 40 minutes.
40 minutes? That's a huge chunk of the fight, where the head dog, Wedge, is presumably implementing his strategy effectively.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about Wedge's skill, his defense, maybe his elusiveness. Rawhide couldn't impose his will easily.
So it shows Rawhide wasn't always about instant, overwhelming power. He had to work for it sometimes.
Definitely. It highlights his patience, his ability to problem solve in the pit. He's facing this difficult style, can't break through for 40 minutes. But he doesn't quit. He keeps working, adapting. Shows that strategic mind again.
Okay, so for 40 minutes, Wedge is potentially controlling things, or at least neutralizing Rawhide. But then...
Then comes that classic Rawhide moment. Mike Lloyd puts it simply, but powerfully. But when he did, meaning when Rawhide finally got through, boy, he made him pay for it.
That phrase says it all, doesn't it? The turning of the tide.
It really does. It implies that once Rawhide found that opening, that weakness, or established that dominant grip, he was utterly decisive. Relentless. He capitalized fully.
Making that breakthrough count.
That's the mark of a great champion, right? The ability to absorb pressure, figure out a tough opponent, and then unleash that fight-ending offense when the moment comes, turning struggle into dominance.
And how long did his final grueling match last?
1 hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20. That's incredibly long.
Just an immense test of stamina, will, and heart for both dogs, pushing them to the absolute limit.
And the outcome.
At that 1 hour 20 mark, Wedge was described as a down dog. Unable to continue, he was picked up.
So Rawhide wins again, undefeated, his final victory.
This final victory against a 4-time winner, a head dog specialist, after an 80-minute war, it just cemented his legendary status, proved his quality endured across owners, across time, against diverse elite opponents, an incredible end to his fighting career.
Just an amazing testament to his spirit. So after that final epic win, what happens? He's retired.
Yes. Rightfully retired to stud. The focus shifts now, from his own battles to his potential legacy through his offspring.
Passing on those champion traits.
That's the goal. It's the ultimate recognition of his genetic value. You want to perpetuate that gameness, that intelligence, that resilience he showed over and over.
And were there early signs his pups inherited that?
The account mentions his pups were still young at the time of writing, but showed a lot of fire and desire.
Fire and desire. Good signs.
Very promising signs, yeah. Suggesting that his core qualities were indeed being passed down, that his bloodline would continue to influence the breed. That's how legends live on, right, through their descendants.
Absolutely. And the accounts we have, they don't just end with the fighting or the breeding. There are some really personal closing thoughts, especially from Mike Lloyd.
Yeah, and they add a really important human dimension to the whole story. It's not just about the dog's accomplishment.
What does Lloyd say?
He expresses profound gratitude to R.A. and Tina Faul. He calls it a privilege to own such a fine animal.
That's nice. Shows respect between the owners.
More than just respect. He praises R.A. and Tina as two of the finest people I know and true friends. It shows the deep bonds that could form within this community centered around these dogs.
So it wasn't all just harsh competition. There were real friendships, real affection.
Exactly. It humanizes it. Reminds us that amidst the intensity, there was deep respect, camaraderie, and of course, immense love for the animals themselves. They were competitors, yes, but also companions.
Lloyd also had high praise for R.A. Faul as a dog man, didn't he?
Incredible praise. He says, I don't think there is a better conditioner or dog man in the country than R.A.
Coming from Mike Lloyd, who just successfully campaigned Rawhide himself, that's a massive compliment.
Huge. It highlights R.A.'s skill, not just in matching, but in the whole process. The care, the nutrition, the preparation, the conditioning, everything needed to get a dog to perform at the absolute peak level, fight after fight.
Being the best dog man means understanding the animal completely.
Inside and out. It's a testament to R.A.'s expertise, his intuition, his dedication, really speaks to his standing in that world.
And then, Mike Lloyd's final word on Rawhide himself.
Yeah.
It's quite simple, but powerful.
It is. He just calls Rawhide the best little dog I ever owned.
Best little dog.
Yeah.
After everything, all the battles, the legend status.
Yeah.
It comes down to that personal connection.
Exactly. It brings it full circle. Beyond the wins, the reputation, the genetics, it's about the bond.
Yeah.
The deep affection and admiration for the animal's character, his spirit. It shows that for these guys, these dogs weren't just assets. They were individuals who left a huge mark.
So, as we wrap this up, champion Rawhide's story.
Yeah.
It's just, wow. A life defined by incredible challenges, unbelievable toughness.
From those first roles, proving his potential, right through to becoming an undefeated champion who faced down illness, formidable opponents, everything.
His resilience, his smarts in the pit, that unwavering gameness.
Yeah.
It really became legendary. And thankfully, we have these accounts from R.A. Faul and Mike Lloyd.
Yeah, those personal stories are gold. They give us this direct, unparalleled look into a specific time in American Pit Bull Terrier history.
His whole journey, it's like a detailed map of the traits and values that were prized back then within those circles.
And that was our aim today, right? To present these facts, these stories directly from the sources. Let Rawhide's life illustrate that dedication, that strategy, that sheer grit.
Absolutely. And, for listeners who are really captivated by this kind of history, the deep dives into the APBT past.
Yeah.
There are resources out there. If you want more stories like this, more historical insights,
Yeah.
you might check out channels like APBT INFO on YouTube. They often explore this kind of material.
Good tip. There's a lot of fascinating history there for people who are passionate about the breed.
So, thinking about Rawhide's story,
Mm-hmm.
what's the takeaway? What does it all mean for us now?
Well, it's definitely a profound look at an animal pushed to extremes, showing almost unbelievable tenacity. It makes you think, doesn't it?
About what?
About resilience, maybe. About dedication. What can we learn from that kind of unwavering spirit, even if the context is very different and difficult for us to maybe fully grasp today?
And how do we interpret these old accounts?
Yeah.
Recognizing the incredible spirit of the dogs themselves.
Exactly. It's complex. But Rawhide's story undeniably resonates. It speaks to the limits of endurance, the power of determination, and those really complex, deep relationships between humans and these powerful animals throughout history. A story that definitely stays with you.